All right, let's take a quick look at Alex Hormozi and how he says an editor is making 300 pieces of ad creative a week.
AI will never be worse than it is today. And so the editing of this ad was done 80% with AI. And that's how we pump out not just 100 or 1,000, but multiple thousands of pieces of content per week, let alone the ads, which we've got one editor who makes over 300 ads a week on his own. And you can't do that with your thumbs, right? You need a machine to help you. And part of
Unfortunately, he goes into the scaling workshop at acquisition.com and not talk about the workflow. But that is also why I'm here, is to assume what that workflow is and then overlay tech stack on top of it. So it helps you and your team be able to produce way more with also keeping the costs extremely low. Okay, let's talk about this workflow, or what this stack most likely is from that 300 ad creative for that one editor. So it's looking at proven creative on ads and organic, most likely an ad library. If you did not know, ads on Facebook have to be shown publicly. And so what it does is it shows all of the videos and copy in which that somebody is using. And most likely that editor is going in and looking at all that ad creative on other people's or competitors and saying, hey, this one's working really well. Or they're going to organic and seeing what's trending and be like, okay, let's smack all that together and then be able to deliver it to a end user. And Andromeda has been amazing in terms of a update for ads, but also at the same time, creative gets evaporated really quickly because Andromeda is so good at finding that piece of creative and then delivering it to a user. And so after they find all the users, they just kill it, right? And so you have to feed the beast in terms of that stuff. And that's also why he's sustaining the 300 pieces of ad creative a week. So from there, they most likely compile a library of all the winners, and then they produce a run of show for Alex for him to shoot content, right? This is the human augmentation. I am a big advocate that AI does not replace a human, but it makes them 10x more stronger and faster. Before, this editor is making 300. You don't remove the editor because AI is so good. It's freaking terrible. So you have to have a human in the loop on that side of things. And then it goes into post-production where they do editing. And if you're not familiar with editing, it's like they use like Premiere or DaVinci Resolve or something like that. Okay. And then from there, they create static images. If you did not see this, there is a lot of also static in the ads as well. And you go from there. And then you write the copy, do the post, and then you run analytics off of those posts that are performing well. It's like, hey, are these performing well or not? What is the traffic to my website? Oh, it's down. Most likely the ad creative is not performing as well. Okay. We're going to go into the tech stack. This is kind of like a snapshot. You can take a picture of it real quick. Okay, click. All right. We're going to go into the overlay of the tech stack, though, which I find is way more valuable. Okay. So we're going to look at the proven creative on ads or on organic. So actually, before I move into it, it's very important to understand the engine and the chassis. So the engine is what drives all of this tech stack to like have logical thought, right? Think of it as a brain and a body. This is the brain. And it has a lot of different types of brains out there. They're called large language models. And it could be Claude, it could be GPT. I like personally using open source models because these guys are about to freaking hike up prices. But Kimi 2.6 and GLM 5.2 using a Ollama subscription. So hopefully you learned something there. Okay, so look at proven creative on ads and organic. So you can use a subscription called Apify to be able to go in and use like scrapers. And so it has a whole bunch of data on Instagram, TikTok, a whole bunch of other ones. And then you can go in and you can be, hey, AI agent, I would like for you to look at ad creative that is in this category, and then it gives it to you, right? Keyword research and all that stuff. And then from there, it can compile a library using Google Sheets. And I'm assuming all of this. Most likely this also could be manual because they kind of know what to look for. And then when it comes down to producing the run of show, they have a script writer or a person that is going to be able to feed Kimi, GPT, and Claude things that they are going to do, and then it puts everything into a run of show. And a run of show is something that you can produce with these large language models if it's trained by different types of skills, MDs, and also file structure. Skills, if you haven't heard of this before, is a series of steps in which that the AI has to take to be able to deliver an outcome. And you want it to be repeatable. So like I have a live production skill in which that I use to be able to generate a live show every single morning. Then from there, I can go in and run it every single time, and then it generates that live show. Before, it's like, oh, can you do this? And then can you do this? Can you do that? No, it takes all of that work that you've done before, makes it a skill, so it can just be like /skill live production, and then it goes. Okay. And that is a MD files, and file structure is super important so they can find it. And these files are what's trained off of Alex Hormozi's data. And this is what people don't really talk about, is that the amount of data that Alex Hormozi has in terms of first party data of like what people like, all of the written free books that he's given, the documentation, internal system flows, the ICP makers, all of that is in the file structure. And the agent knows all of that and then makes decisions, right? And a lot of people just expect Claude and GPT, whenever they're prompting something, that it's going to deliver this amazing result. And it's not. You have to train it. You have to give that brain some things to read before it actually goes in and does it. And for the post-production, I can see with this right here, most likely they're using HeyGen. HeyGen uses HyperFrames as an editor to be able to then go in and use it. I personally think that they can deal with a ICP like Stylet that helps them kind of like keep your brand consistency with like Laura Inter, like these are my colors and stuff. And you can feed that into HyperFrames and it can keep better consistency. Like I would like to see that purple and white that he has with the captions. And I think it would stop people a little bit better, but that's more optimization. He's freaking killing it. And then Premiere, you have a editor in which that you can go in and you can fix the timeline. Okay. And then you create static images. And so static images are really important when it comes down to all the ads that we talked about. And so they use most likely Nano Banana or GPT-2 image. They have been fantastic in terms of that. I don't think people are using like the video generation because it just doesn't cost. The cost is just not there, in my opinion. Some people have done really good. For Alex Hormozi, it doesn't make any sense. Okay. And then you write copy using all of those skills and file structure that we mentioned above for the copy as well. And so they have so many ads and so much creative that they can train that model off of that they can crush it. And then they either have either update it manually or upload it manually and do all the copy, or they compile everything into a draft like Buffer or Post is. And then, they either post it or they do it. And then the analytics, you can also connect APIs for Meta and Google Analytics to be able to naturally speak for your update. Give me a report. Sorry, let me drag it over here. But this is my Hermes that's giving me a report for my Google Analytics in the backend, right? And so this is important to understand for that. So it's compiling everything into that API and then being able to produce like a better, report for me. I'm honestly just trying to talk until it delivers what I'm doing. And so it's compiling it right now. But I'll just scroll up and then we can see hopefully that it's generated stuff. And so the last 30 days, which I've only been running it for 7 days in terms of this website, and then traffic by source in terms of Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, any of that stuff, direct traffic does, and then it's compiling. And so it's executive summary. So I just did that while it's going. Okay. And that is about it. All right. When it comes down to that, I love breaking down workflows. I've been doing this for some companies right now where I go in and look at what they want in terms of their output, right? And then go in and make a map of workflow and see if they want that. I think I'm doing one right now for like data enrichment. So they have a CRM already. They've already captured that leads, but like, can we enrich them? Can I like know more about the people and know more about the company? Did they have a raise recently? So I can go in and stick my claws into them. But yeah, that is about it, guys. Hopefully this was informative. It was something that you guys like. And if you guys want to see more of it, please let me know. I would love to do it because it's something that I care about deeply. And if you want to also just recommend a workflow in which that you want me to break down and see how I would build it out in terms of putting all that tech pieces together, or you guys want me to go more nerdy and go into the actual individual tech stacks and how to leverage all of these, because there are different skills layers here. One of them is that you have to know what the output is and the workflow in which that person needs to be able to deliver on it, right? And then at the end of it, you need the tech stack and knowing how to leverage that tech stack to its fullest degree. And so there's levels of complexity here that I definitely want you guys to learn at the end of the day. All right, guys, that's it. Peace.